And I am alive. Welcome to this new stream. We are talking about a lot of different movies tonight. Mufasa, the Lion King, just came out yesterday. Oh my, that thing was terrible. And we also talk about the live action remake that came out 5 years ago now. Wow, already. And we will talk about the cult classic and why the cult classic is actually far better than whatever we got after because Disney suck. Let's talk about that after the intro. So I did happen to rewatch the classic and the remake. Um, so Mufasa, the Lion King. It's a comedy, a musical comedy. It's a terrible movie that came out yesterday. I did happen to see it really early yesterday, and yeah, it wasn't great, and it feel like it just wants to launch a new universe, the Lion universe, because like we get that subplot where the story is told to Simba daughter, and guess what? If that trash Mufasa movie works, we will have a sequel, and the sequel won't be about Simba; it will be about the daughter of Simba. Very Disney-like, right? Um, so this Mufasa movie, I've heard a lot of things about it. I don't know if I'm the crazy one on that one, but most of my issues are just rinse and repeat. And because I did happen to see it in theater, my notes are very limited, unfortunately. What is sure, I came out of the theater and I was like, okay, what did I really enjoyed? It wasn't boring. I tried really hard to kind of defend this movie. I think it's one of the worst thing that came out this year. And it's disappointing because again, as I am doing this stream right now, I've seen 103 movies. And it's hilarious because we talked about Sonic previously, and Sonic is in my top 10, while Mufasa is in my bottom 10. Um, that shit, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know why they did it. Well, actually, I know because I think they thought they would make a lot of money because Christmas, because movies. There's like so many movies right now in theater, and I feel like anything else is better than this. I wanted to stay away from freaking Wicked, but I can bet Wicked is better than this shit. Um, yeah, I ate Mufasa the Lion King, and I will start reading my notes now. The first issue, plot convenience. In the middle of nowhere, Scar and Mufasa bumped into Nala just because she is needed to create Simba. Nala as a character, she was kind of cool. I enjoyed Nala a lot, and she's one of the few likes. But here's the thing: she wasn't needed, and that's a convenience. It's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, okay, whatever, plot convenience. She's needed, right? She's needed, right? Um, so my issue number two, three, four, and five. Um, I say that because some of my issue repeat themselves, and I just group them as one. So most of the musical numbers were forgettable. Only in rare cases they added and pushed the story a bit further. But again, it's forgettable. You have a musical, and none of these songs stand out. They are lifeless. They don't stand out. They just don't. When I think about music this year from movies I've seen, I think the only one that really stick to my mind is the Fall Guy and Romulus. These are the only two big teams I I remember, big scores I remember from movies this year. They stand out. None of the Disney shit stand out. Um, Now my next few issues: 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14. So like I got like 8 times where I was watching the clock. The pacing was godly awful. It was horrendous for many reasons. Anything with the daughter of Simba was only to tease a spin-off. It wasn't needed. And basically the movie is like, oh yeah, the story is the past. It's Mufasa past. It's Mufasa story. How he became the king. And the premise is how he became the king, but that's one of the characters from the original movie that talks to the daughter of Simba, and he's like, I will tell you a story, the story of her granddad, Mufasa. That's the premise of it. And it's funny because yesterday I did happen to see a movie that had a similar storytelling where it's a dad talking to his daughter. And the story is told through like, oh, it's a story a dad tells his daughter. And that's Orion in the Dark. And maybe that's an odd take, but Orion in the Dark was really cool. That's a movie that came out this year. It's an animated movie, and I enjoyed that movie a lot. And they did the exact same gimmick as Mufasa the Lion King. But the big difference, I think, in Orion in the Dark, it was far better than in Mufasa the Lion King. It's like watching the same movie, but like one is good and the other one is trash. You can already guess which one I think is good and which one I think is bad. But yeah, it's bad. Like the movie is like 2 hour. Mufasa the Lion King is like 2 hour, and I feel like the same story could have been told under like 1 hour, 1 hour 20 minute, like the original, something like that. It's just don't. It's just not justified. Number 15, some of the humor and dialogue was bad. 16, they keep bringing back food concern and issues, yet it doesn't really impact the story. It doesn't interest them, despite them never really eating. So it's like, why do you add dialogue where they need to eat, but they don't eat? And they just go on the snow like snow is not cold and draining your energy, and they do fights. It's just not believable. Like if you bring a eating concern, you should kind of solve it. Otherwise it should have some kind of consequence, but no, it doesn't have any consequence. It's like a drop thread they got in the movie. It's not good. If you don't want them to be weakened or affected by not eating, don't dress eating. Maybe I'm too smart. Maybe I nitpick too much. Maybe it's just me really hating this goddamn shitty movie. I hate this movie. I don't know how many times I said it. Um Now I was overly harsh. Let's defend the 3 likes I got, because that's literally what I got. 3 likes. The first like being Mufasa and Nala were okay. Mufasa becoming the Lion King felt earned. Scar betrayal was cool. But that's it. That's it. That movie should never have been made in the first place. It's terrible. It's greed. It's not worth your time. It wasn't worth mine, of course. But yeah, the Lion King should have been left in 1994, because anything they did after is just trash. It's not up to it's not on par. It's nowhere near as good. And since we are there, we will have a small tangent. Well, actually, not yet. I will wait a bit more. But yeah, I will give Mufasa, The Lion King, a 3 out of 10 because this is shit and I hate this movie. It's not good. It has so many issues. It's more of the same issues. But yeah, that's all I felt. Now here's the very small tangent being I've seen the Snow White new trailer. I won't react to this shit because I don't care about Snow White at all. But I bring this up because that's Disney, and I've seen the trailer in theater when I was watching Mufasa, The Lion King, and the movie looks terrible. It looks like a movie that should flop. I just joined the Chud sphere hating Disney now. So I guess we can move on to the next topic. The next topic being The Lion King 1994, the original one. I did happen to see it a few months ago to be ready for this current stream. And as a child, I did see that movie at least once or twice. And I think I've seen the sequel if there was any sequel. I think there were a sequel. Actually, I want to Google this one up. The Lion King 2. Yeah, that was a goddamn sequel. Um, so for sure I did see both. And there's a third one? Wow. And the third one, I don't know if I've seen it. But I know I've seen the first two as a kid. So what are they doing? No. No. It's just not worth your time. To get back on track, the original Lion King. Um I enjoyed it a lot, even if it's a kids movie. That was kind of cool. And I see my note. There's just so much. It's a reading fest. I won't read every single thing, but here's my only issue with the original: plot convenience. The animals being around to save Simba as Simba fell unconscious right after his father's death. Um, I can't remember what I refer to, but I guess that was a plot convenience. But basically, what I thought, well, I was entertained by that movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I maybe it's nostalgia talking because I did see it as a kid, but it was a fun experience. And after watching that, I was kind of I for the remake. I was like, hopefully the remake will be as good. But no, no, I won't go too far right now. But the Lion King's death was very sad and well made, and that's a nice betrayal. And to get back to Mufasa just a little bit, um, the way Scar deletes Mufasa in the original is the way he saves Mufasa twice, I think, in Mufasa. And it's kind of interesting, foreshadowing that the one that saves you will end you. I'll admit that that's kind of neat, but maybe I give too much credit to the people involved in the remake, or I should say the prequel, the trash prequel. Get back to the original Lion King, the only one worth watching. It was well shown how Scar was manipulative. Stop running away from your past, learn from it, message well told. The uncle is the smart one, the father is the strong one. Scar manipulating Simba into endangering himself was entertaining. Simba's desire to change the rules as king was well introduced. Simba not realizing the world was dangerous was entertaining. It's a story of coming of age, and losing your dad can be hard, and um that was a really cool movie. And Scar threatening the hyenas and this backfiring on him was golden. It was great. And with that being said, I give the original Lion King a 9.7 out of 10. It was a solid experience. I liked it far better than whatever we got yesterday as I am doing this stream. So I guess now I will tear apart the shitty remake they tried to do in live action out of God and greed. Bad idea, folks. Don't do a movie out of greed. But you don't listen. You keep doing it. Um, I had 10 issues with that one. It's kind of funny because that one felt worst because it has a worse score than the one I happened to see yesterday, but it has less issues. So these issues they weight a lot in the shitty remake. So now we enter the shitty remake territory. Why do you exist, shitty remake? The original was fine the way it was. You exist because of greed. Now here are my 10 issues with the shitty remake. Number 1, the opening scene had a filler musical and filler shots of fake animal running. Number 2, the CGI animals bad and horrendous to look at. Number 3, the villain and Mufasa were very hard to tell apart by their looks, which ruined the idea of the animated movie. Number 4, bad pacing, wasting time looking at a random rat walking around. Number 5, the CGI background was so bad. Number 6, Nala and Simba are also hard to tell apart. Number 7, more bad pacing, too many shots of CGI animals and background that didn't push the story further. Number 8, plot convenience, the other characters saving Simba from the birds. Number 9, it's hard to tell Nala apart of the other lions. Number 10, has the exact same story, but its production execution was far worse. So the highlight of that terrible 2019 movie is it's the same shit as the original, but bad this time around because you cannot even tell which character is which. And I feel like I'll give some credit where credit is due to Mufasa. Mufasa, I could tell apart the characters because they were good at making different design. Uh, that shitty 2019 movie wasn't able to do such thing. Maybe it's because that was the start of that era of shitty live action remake, but hey, I'm glad Mufasa doesn't look like that. Um, so yeah, these were my issues with the original. Oh, not the original, the trash remake. Uh, I will say it's just the same movie as the original, but worse. Voice acting was fine. The lore around the king was cool. The king was likable. The villain was entertaining, but again, that's because of the original. Scar scheming to delete his nephew and brother was fun. The Stampede sequence was entertaining. Scar being a liar was well shown. The action piece was entertaining. So I guess the action was there, right? But yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a lot more to say. The remake is trash. The remake is a 2.5 out of 10. And that's it. I don't have a lot more to say. I wasted like 4 hours on these movies. Uh, Only the original is worth my time. And the original is the shortest one, and the original is great. It's peak. Now, I will wish you all, because maybe it's the last time we see each other this year. I will be streaming other stuff, but I will wish you all Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, all of the good stuff. 2025 mainstream movies reviews will be back. More content, more NTT. Cannot wait. I'm hyped for 2025 because I've seen 103 movies in 2024. I plan on seeing 10 others because I'm not really done with my watch list, and I plan on making a tier list video, stream, whatever. And with this, we are out of here. Have a great one. Take care. Happy New Year.